Today, it's gonna be epic. Why? We gonna test the Hydra Alien Carrig. And for this, we're gonna need a cool car. Maybe something like this. Alright, the star of this video is this thing right here, the Carrig. To see how long it takes to get this whole setup ready, we will now assemble it together. But before we do this, it's advisable to wash the car you're filming with. This one is pretty dirty, so we're gonna make a quick stop at the car wash. While we're driving to the car wash, let's talk about this project. In this project, I wanted to create a high-end car commercial, and I'll add at least a tiny little story to give it a reason why he's driving so fast. Additionally to the Carrig scenes, I'll add some FPV Cinelifter footage to give it a bit more of a dynamic feeling. Also, the plan is just to work with the sound of the car and a good sound design. Alright guys, let's wash our car. The car is clean, and now it's time to set up the Carrig. It's a nice weather today. I really like it. The sun is shining, it's Sunday. Perfect for a behind the scenes video. You can mount this rig at various positions on the car, but for now, we'll mount it at the rear. Additionally, you should clean the areas where the suction cups are attached. So just take your time when you mount this rig. You just have to be sure that everything is mounted properly and that it sticks on the car. And to be absolutely sure this whole setup sticks to the car, it's recommended to use a tension strap. In addition, I also use a V-mount battery to power the whole system, gimbal, camera, HDMI cable, monitor, and a PS4 controller. So for this shoot, I'm using the Sony a7S III with a Sirui 35mm Anamorphic. But how do I pull focus? Let me introduce you the Tilta Nucleus Nano 2. This is a wireless focus motor that I can easily operate from the passenger seat. It's super easy to set up, it has automatic calibration, and if your lens doesn't have hard stops, you can easily set those manually. You can use it as a zoom motor as well, but since we have a prime lens, we just use it for focus. Okay, so I can control everything comfortably from the passenger seat. Here, I use the Atomos Ninja V connected to my camera. Now it's time to produce some bangers. But I guess I need a driver. In this project, I'm recording the sound of the car. One way to do this is with a Rode mic. There's some other ways as well, but for me, this solution works really well. After a few tries, I found out that this position works relatively well. Once you found out a good position, the audio is gonna be super good. Additionally, I'm using a dead cat, which further helps minimize wind noise. Another important point is to check the right audio level so that the audio is not too loud. Here's a tip. Use headphones while recording audio. There's nothing more annoying than realizing after the shoot that the footage is unusable and you have to start all over again. All right guys, let's take this bad boy for a spin. it's time for some suction cup action. It's always a bit sketchy to mount those on the car, but we're gonna trust them. We're doing this like on different angles on the car, and those shots are gonna be bangers for sure. Let's just hope it sticks on the car and then we're good. Let's take it for a spin. Okay, the shooting is done and I'm super happy with how smoothly the footage turned out. We got some nice rollers. Some people have already asked me how long it takes to mount the Carrig as well as switching positions. So it took me about 8 minutes, but I'm used to the system. When you just bought it and tried the first time, it definitely will take longer. As I mentioned before, I took the opportunity to shoot some scenes with my Cinelifter. Le Pigeon. He looks beautiful. Mounted on the drone is a stripped down Blackmagic 4K. And trust me, this thing right here is as much fun as the Porsche. The only sketchy part was the location. Since there were a lot of branches, I had some intense moments. But this one is a beast and the footage turned out super good. What I'm also going to show you is the timeline. As you can see, I spent a lot of time with sound design. I started with the most obvious, the recorded car sound. As I was recording the audio, I captured all sorts of situations. Revving, shifting up, shifting down, and so on. So it was easy for me to fit the audio with the visuals. Then I moved on to ambient sounds to create this whole environment, and finally added a lot of hits, risers, whooshes, and a few more creative sounds to add that little bit of spice. Explaining everything would take ages, but this was at least a little insight. Anyway, that's it for today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe, and whatever else. See you next time.